Aviation fans, welcome back to another episode of Imperial Diecast. In this week's episode, we're going to take a look at a 1/500 scale Libyan Arab Airlines Airbus A310-200 by Herpa. Now you can see this is Herpa catalog number 512619, and it is part of the Yesterday series. And here we have a wingspan of 43.9 meters, a length of 46.66 meters, and a height of 15.8 meters for the Airbus A310-200. This is model number 1673, so it's part of a limited release. And let's unbox it. Now this is an OG Herpa, but I only paid 12 euros for this model. While new generation A310s these days go for 2.5 times the price. So let's see what we get for 12. An A310 in a really cool livery. Now this is not the first release from 1996, but the Herpa Wings Club edition from 2001. So what that means is the model now has registration and bigger engines, which I will compare with an older A310 casting later in the review. So what is the A310? The A310 is a wide body and basically a shortened A300. And in terms of overall dimensions, it's pretty much the same as a 767-200, but has a slightly wider fuselage, allowing for an 8 abreast instead of a 7 abreast cross-section, but has less range. Because the A310-200 had a range of 6,500 kilometers compared to the 767-200's 7,200 kilometers. A total of 255 A310s were made from 1981 to 1998. And Libyan Arab Airlines had 3 A310-200s, although I think originally they had placed an order for 4. And this is in a cool livery that Libya's flag carrier used until 2006. There's an interesting story here. The Libyan Arab A310s were acquired in 1986 from British Caledonian Airlines. But due to a US embargo on American engines, the carrier could not service the General Electric engines. So just a year later, in 1987, they officially sold these Airbuses to Air Algerie, so that if Air Algerie operated them, they could get serviced. But in practice, they had just leased them to Air Algerie so that the profits from the flights could continue to reach Libyan Arab Airlines. The deal didn't really work out, though, and fearing US sanctions, Air Algerie returned the A310s to Libya, and British Caledonian was fined $1 million for its involvement in the deal. Then, around 2 years later, Lockerbie happened, and the airline was pretty much grounded for the next 10 years before sanctions were lifted in exchange for the Libyan government admitting its involvement and compensating the victims. Only after that did the A310s fly again. We'll start our review by taking a look at the L1 door, and it's pretty simple. It's got a small porthole, but nothing else. And then, of course, we have the window line, and going underneath the window line is the gold band that is trimmed by 2 white lines and 2 black lines. Over here we have the old flag of Libya, Al-Khutut Ul-Jawiyyat Libyatu, which stands for Libyan Arab Airlines in Arabic. Here we've got the emergency exit, the L2 door, the registration saying 5 Alpha Delta Lima Alpha, and then up here we have the beautiful logo of Libyan Arab Airlines on the vertical stabilizer, which looks like 3 arrows pointing to the left. And now taking a look at the horizontal stabilizers. They don't have a lot of detail, unfortunately, but they do have a silver leading edge, as you can see. And now taking a look at the wings of the plane. This is a pretty simple design. There's really not much going on here. We've got silver leading edges for the slats, and then we've got the flaps, the air brakes, ailerons, etc. carved in and painted over, and they are still relatively visible. Taking a look at the engines, these are supposed to represent General Electric CF6s. They come with silver leading edges, and you can see the fan blade detailing inside as well. So they're not bad. Although I think that they might be a little too big compared to the rest of the plane. Taking a look at the front of the plane, the cockpit windows of the A310 are done in normal Airbus fashion. We do not get cockpit window frames, and we also do not get windshield wipers, unfortunately. So the plane looks pretty basic. And here's a look at the other side of the Airbus A310-200. And here you can already see the improvement of the 2001 casting instead of the 1996 version, because we get cargo doors both on the front as well as on the back. So that's an improvement. And other than that, there's really not much else to say. So let's take a look at the bottom of the plane. And here we have the Herpa logo, as well as some detail for the trailing edge fairings. And otherwise, it's pretty simple. Now here's a comparison between the A310-200 and the A310-300. And apart from the horizontal stabilizers now also having fuel tanks allowing for the range to be extended, another way you can tell the difference visually is by the -300 having wingtip fences, while the -200 does not. This Austrian Airlines A310-300, however, is an older casting, and apart from the lack of cargo doors, you can also tell by the fact that its engines are smaller than those on the newer Libyan Arab A310 casting, which is an older plane because it's an A310-200, but a newer casting from 2001 compared to the Austrian Airlines release from 1995. However, keep in mind that the Libyan Arab A310's engines are General Electric CF6s, while the Austrian A310's engines are Pratt & Whitney 4152s. So I hope you guys enjoyed my review of the 1/500 scale Libyan Arab Airlines Airbus A310-200 by Herpa. It's definitely a cool livery, that's the reason why I added it to my collection, and if you're interested in checking out more Airbus reviews, you will find them over here. Take care, have a wonderful day, and this is Imperial Diecast, signing out.